Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 18465 Southwest Stepping Stone Drive here in Aloha. We are located right now, so this is a shared sewer line, which is very common for attached condo style homes. So the way that a lot of these work here is they interconnect the lines underneath the building, and then the line will pop out. Sometimes it pops out on your unit, which is right to my left. I am at the unit directly to the right of yours in front of their garage. You'll see the big cover plate. So anyway, this is where the actual main line comes out of the building here. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running, we are zeroed out, and off we go. And so you do have a clean out in the garage. The hard part with those garage clean outs, one, they often send you through a really tight set of turns that can be difficult to navigate. But the problem with this one, and it's very commonly done, is someone uses a screw that's too long. So you've got the clean out cap, and then they put a little silver cover plate over the top of it. If you do not use the right type of cap and or screw, the screw will penetrate through the cap and actually enter, at least on the back side of the cap, it gets exposed to sewage. But you're not supposed to do that. You don't want to go punching a hole through a cap if you can help it. Because what happens is over time, that screw that's in contact with sewage, grease and everything else in the sun, rusts out, and you either get a rust nodule that forms on the backside of the screw, or it rusts the threads out, so the screw literally will not back out if you can't unthread them without cutting them to pieces. And or the screw can rust out so bad sometimes that water can actually, it's usually not gushing amounts, it's having to seep through a tiny little space, but water can start escaping little by little. So it's something it's one of those reasons I'm not going to mess with that one. The other trick too is a lot of these, you will sometimes actually have neighboring lines tie in the vertical stacks. So while you might have water turned off in your unit, water can run from another unit and come flying out of the wall onto the floor. So anyway, this right here is the vertical drop into the main. What you have here are opposing lines. So that pipe on the other side of the drop here is from the adjacent units across the street from you. They both come to this location, hit a central point, and dive straight down. My camera, it actually might navigate this. A lot of times it wants to just shoot straight across. There we go. So then the line will dive down here, straight into the top of the main, vertical drop in. Which is right here. And that's where the manhole is. And that manhole sits straight out right between your driveway and the driveway to the right. And I describe all this as if you are standing in the street facing the front of the home. All right, we're gonna turn our water off. Just know we will not probably be able to get all water out of the line because you have multiple units tied in here. I don't have control over their water. All right, we're gonna go ahead and reel the camera back out of the line here. All that water there is moving, none of it is standing. So we have somewhat of an offset, although it doesn't create a lip in the flow line. More than anything, it's caused standing water. And right now, with the amount of water coming down line, it is exaggerating that. You've got dang near a bathtub's worth of water shooting down the pipe right now. So from about 8 feet, yeah, I don't think it's more than a foot long. It's about that. Yeah, 8 to 9 feet here. You've got about an inch of water. But we do not have static water flow right now. We have a lot of water shooting through the line. Being that we have very little to no buildup in this area here, that is not the kind of thing I would recommend repairs on. It's too minor, especially considering it's a shared line and shared responsibility. I tend to look for big picture stuff that is high risk for causing multiple unit-wide backups.
Buyers, it's good. Prices are
Because
so
at the end of the
low
day,
right
it's
now.
the HOA that has to deal with this stuff.
Good time to catch
And
it right now.
very rarely are they going to go fixing things just because they look imperfect. They've got to be significant enough to cause problems under more normal usage scenarios, not just abusive.
Are you guys in a good
We're not
position?
going backwards into the unit. I'll take this as far back as the thing will let me. Granted, some of this is not going to be solely your line here, but this is just how these things work in here. They're a little bit trickier to get isolated just to one unit because they are so shared and interconnected.
Well,
This is where we neck down the 3-inch pipe.
Sometimes 2 or 3 years ago, but I help coach them up, and we get them on a plan, like how to make sure you're on a budget, keep your credit scores good, clear up any.
Just made a
anything on
left-hand
your credit
turn
report
there.
might need to be cleared up because that could be holding your score back. Like there could be a.
Like this, my car, like I'm leasing it, I'm almost done.
Well, you're okay, yeah. Are you okay on all your other bills though?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any delinquents on like old phone bills or any crazy things like that or anything? Because like a $15.
All right, just did a quick locate there just to get an idea of where we are, and where I just located that, I walked into that extra room behind the garage, and we are right in that wall space there on the right side of the house. So anyhow, and what you often have is you often will have multiple branches in these places. That those two are often interconnected with other units too, so they get very complicated. And sometimes you'll have branches tying into the main line in different locations along the run. So anyway, that's why the most important part of these things, big picture wise, is from a blockage standpoint at these main lines. The main trunk line anyway. So nice looking sewer line there. Again, a little bit of a defect there between 8 and 9 feet, holding approximately, so you still have water running. It's very hard to get these things drained out. You've got probably 3-4 different units at least tied into this thing. The water levels drop down to a little more minor amount here. Let's push back out. Anyway, and this location at a transition joint is the most common spot in a sewer line to end up with some settling. Anyway, when you come back from this location here, the pipe wall is not gunked with super thick debris buildup. After doing 25,000 sewer scopes, what I can tell you is a spot that causes recurring problems, and recurring problem scenarios flush themselves out very, very quickly and easily in multifamily units because of the amount of volume going down them. The only debris whatsoever in this line is a little bit of grease buildup in the flow line. There is zero buildup on the sidewalls and the top of the pipe leading back from that location, and that's what tells you the story. If a spot is causing backups over and over, or at least even semi-frequently, the top of the pipe and sidewalls will be covered in backup debris. So we don't have that here. And actually, this is a very clean line for a shared line. There's very little grease buildup. In fact, this has got less grease in it than the average single-family house out there. So anyway, all the pipe here appears intact. We have adequate flow all the way out to the main lateral connection from the main trunk line. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.